Cássia Martinez, and I'm very happy to be here at High Density Conference. I'm here, first of all, because I've been working for over 5 years as a green coffee buyer in my 12-year of specialty coffee career. That's been 11 years in Cafés Magnifico in Barcelona and 1 year in Johan Nyström here in Sweden. For that reason, I suppose, and because I really enjoy the role of green coffee buying, I was invited to talk about 5 questions you as a green coffee buyer should ask your importers. Taken from the starting point that you are buying green coffee through an importer for a roastery, these are questions that will make your relationship and your business much smoother and efficient through time. It goes from more technical logistic topics to others more into complexities at origin and more into general knowledge. But first of all, come prepared. So before you come with the questions, be sure to be familiar with the terms and documents widely used across the industry. The Green Coffee Association website has everything you need to know about. Also, be calibrated with your partners, be a good cupper, and be sure to communicate which protocol you're using to grade your coffees when you're trying to communicate about sensorial and physical aspects of the coffee. Also, use clear communication, avoid perhaps, sounds good, maybes, and opt more for yes, no, rejected, approved. Don't give space for doubts. And if a deal doesn't suit your roastery, explain why. Let them know what your business model is. And last but not least, don't ever think a question is stupid, even if it might be. Don't ever assume things that you're not 100% sure about, even if it's just a double-checking question. Okay, so let's go for it. Question number 1. What logistical and financial services do they provide? What are the contract policies? For example, how many days of credits do I have before paying the coffee? Or do I have to pay it up front? Or what are the extra costs for changes done in the contract after signing it? Also, for example, about the delivery time. What are the costs of storing the coffee longer than the contract? What does it actually say on the contract? Do they have a warehouse facility for you? Normally, your financial options depend on the pricing of the coffee and the relationship reputation you have with the importers. Another important thing is about contract cancellation. Nobody wants to cancel a contract, and in fact, it's very hard to do so. There's probably only 2 ways this could happen. You either go bankrupt, or the quality doesn't match the contract or the PSS, the pre-shipment sample. But in order for you to be able to reject a coffee, it has to be stated on the contract that the coffee is subject to approval of arrival. Plus, you as a buyer, you have a certain amount of days to cup and reject this coffee, otherwise your importer can legally just proceed with the sale. If there is a rejection and no negotiation can be done, as a last resource, Q graders would be hired to recheck the quality and give the final verdict. In sum, be sure to ask everything you need to fully understand what each thing costs and under which condition. Question number 2. How does your importer source? Meaning, what is the impact of your purchase in the coffee farming communities? Does your importer know how the prices actually influence the farmers or the producers? Terms like FOB price and farm gate price are so often used nowadays to give transparency to the end consumer, but these numbers are rarely linked to a reference that makes any sense. So if you want to pass this information on, be sure to ask if they have a better data, a clear understanding of how these numbers relate to what actually gets into the farmer's pocket. Another thing you could ask about the sourcing is if they're sourcing from co-ops or from single farms. I would say that the biggest advantage from sourcing from a single farm is that you have a better traceability of how the coffee is being produced and what kind of variety it is. And from the co-ops is that you'll be reaching a much larger numbers of families and producers. Question number 3, what are their coffee offerings? What can I buy every year? What can I buy year round? For example, if I have a fixed blend, or if I want to have a fixed blend, what are the coffees that are most stable in quality and volume so that I can have year round? Also about coffee substitutions. Some coffees are only available in small amounts and they won't last very long in your portfolio, and you would like to offer your clients this range of profile year round. So Even if it's a different origin, you could ask about coffee substitutions that go into the same range in price and profile. But very interesting also is to ask if you can pre-book your coffee instead of choosing from several spot coffees. To do that, it gives you a chance to explore further and get your hands on a bigger range of coffee. Plus, you might be able to ship smaller quantities of coffee with other coffees from other farms to other clients in the same container. But in order for them to alert you on the best offerings for you, they must be able to understand your business. So be sure to communicate about your products and the coffees you intend to launch. Question number 4. Ask them for further knowledge. Use them as a counselor to plan yourself better. They should be in constant and direct contact with origin. So some questions can help you reorganize yourself. For example, 1. Changes in the year's harvest that might affect the quality or the yield, like unexpected weather. Currency fluctuations that might alter the final price. Or 3, riots or port strikes that might lead to inconveniences in the shipment procedure and the delivery time. The more information you get upfront, the better you can plan yourself, not just for this contract, but for further contracts also, and make the whole business more efficient. So, question number 5. What are the latest news or the latest findings? For example, if they found out a unique profile or a rare terroir, or new scientific findings on genetics, quality boost, pest control, a project that is generally helping a minority group and how, and if there are new players in the coffee business that are innovating or impacting the coffee community somehow. So show that you're interested because you're a green coffee buyer. There is no way to be in this role and not be interested in what you do. And it's the same thing with your suppliers. They really normally enjoy what they do. And by doing all these questions, you build up a stronger relationship because you bring up to the surface the passion they also have for coffee. So, to sum up, first question, what are my logistical and financial support? Second, how do they source the coffee? Third, what are my coffee offerings or their coffee offerings? 4, ask them for further knowledge. They should be your counselor. And 5, what are the latest findings? What are the latest news? And what are they passionate about? And as final notes, I would like to say that we all know that the coffee world is changing, whether it's due to processing trials, new hybrid varieties, climate change, or a pandemic. It is hard to keep up on everything that's going on all the time. So use your important as an ally, and through clear communication, fact-based knowledge, and good intentions as a responsible buyer, you will only build up and nurture solid and valuable connections for you. But remember, you're just one link in the chain, and a contract is the result of a larger dialogue. Thank you very much for watching. You can always reach me by email at mc.cassia@gmail.com, and I hope you enjoy the next sessions of High Density. Thank you.